Here today to deliver a letter to the Honorable Consul General and Ambassador of Japan. We gather here in front of the Japanese Consulate as clergy working together to bring about a change. We are continuing to work on the human rights and religious freedom because of the abuses that are going on in Japan. We are shocked, we're disappointed that one of the friends and allies of America with a modern democratic society would continue to allow the abduction, forced confinement of adult men and women against the fundamental principles of freedom of religion that Japan is committed to uphold. I am reminded when I look at this matter of the injustice acts that took place in America when the highest law on the books were against kidnapping, abduction, and destruction of life. And yet, our local authorities, who were to uphold righteousness and justice because of bigotry and hatred, allowed the lynching of African Americans, men and women, basically because of the difference in the color of skin. Here we come and see an injustice because of the difference in what has been taught in faith. It is not right. So we gather here to make it known to the world that we want to stand for what is right before God. Even though it was clearly against the law, against the local police, against the prosecutors, against what the judges were to stand for. They did nothing to change the actions that were unjust among African Americans. And in the same likeness today, we see that it is going on in Japan, and it must stop. We're calling for it to immediately stop. We demand the release of women who are now in prison, and the one gentleman who is facing the same abuse, locked up, placed away because of faith. We ask that the Japanese government and people look more carefully at the Goto case, in which a man was in prison for 12 years and 5 months, and that his condition upon escape would be compared to the victims of the Nazi death camps. Why has no one paid the price to be prosecuted for this crime? We are deeply dismayed. We are deeply concerned as religious leaders, Christians, clergy standing together. We're acting now. We are encouraging individuals to join with us as a people of faith. This is a religious freedom issue, and we stand strong that we will organize across this nation, and we will call on other nations, clergy everywhere, to stand with the American Clergy Leadership Conference, to call upon faith leaders to stand together and bring an end to this injustice. We are not standing here alone. A few of us have come to New York on a short notice together, representing a major voice in force. We already have 1,000 signatures and 120 letters of pastors who have expressed deep concern to Japan over this issue. We once again want to call upon the press to highlight this situation. We applaud the major network of Korea, SBS, for honestly investigating and looking at this issue carefully. We are encouraged, however, that God is real and that we stand with God, and that when people of faith and conscience come together from all walks of life, when we come together as faith communities, we will overcome. In the words made famous by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we shall overcome. We want that to be sung again. We shall overcome. We saw this happen with great reformers of history. We shall overcome. We once again want to see it happen in Japan, because we shall overcome. We are calling upon religious people of Japan to join with us, because we shall overcome. We're asking the government of Japan, all civil societies, to join with us, because we shall overcome. We're going forward. We're marching as a strong force. We're marching together to end violence, to end abduction of adults in Japan. We're calling for the release of the captives, and we want it done immediately. So let's go, people. Let's go. Let's go. And let's shout together, we shall overcome, because God is saying once again, let my people go. We shall overcome.